So civil services is basically a set of services that's made of number of services, about 20 services in total. This exam conducts examinations for about 20 services. Some of them you might be knowing: the IAS, IPS, IRS, which is Indian Revenue Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service, and various others: Indian Civil Account Service, Railway Services, uh, uh, Defense Account Services, Defense Estate Services, totaling about 15 to 20 services. In total, you get a number of seats of about 700 to 800 people joining the service every year. In particular, because I am in the IAS and because 99% people prefer the first choice as the IAS, so I'll talk mostly about the IAS, and because that is generally where most aspirants desire to be. I'm not saying that other services are not good at all, or there are issues with them, but usually there's a general perception that IAS is first among the equals. So, talking about the IAS, what is the IAS? What kind of jobs you do? So, in the IAS, you basically do two kinds of jobs. One is a field posting. The other is the secretariat jobs. In field posting, it basically means that you stay in small places. You are the face of the administration and the government in small places. You start from the rank of a SDM, which I am today. This is my first posting, where primarily I have to look after the subdivision of Chakradarpur, which is made up of about 15 lakhs people, about 10 lakhs people. 15 lakh is about the total population of the district. So here my task is to look after the law and order and ensure that development coordination with all the government departments, ensure that I take care of the demands of the people. There are kinds of similar postings such as what we call the DDC, or in many places it's called as CO Zilla Parishad or CDO, or there are various other things. But the point is that these postings are meant for the development of the entire district. And finally, after these postings comes what usually people associate the IAS with the most, which is the position of the DM, often called as collector or the DC. So DM or the collector DC basically looks after the governance of the entire district, and it includes almost everything, right from law and order, development, people's grievance redressal. It includes conducting elections, doing development works, or maybe let's say you want to enhance the tourist potential of a district. So the person who will be conducting, who will be the nodal of that, will be the DM. Let's say you want to ensure that the poor get more ration, or the poor get more welfare, like let's say better water, better electricity, better peace and security, better education, better health. Ultimately, the person who look after all of this in the district is a DM. He's not just the person who provides facilities, but he's also the person who is an administrator. He administers laws of the country in the district. It could be laws related to mining. It could be laws related to let's say about the PDS. It could be laws related to traffic. It could be laws related to environment, and a lot of things. And he coordinates basically with all departments of the district. Generally, this is often many people would recognize this more, and this is often considered as a more prized posting among others. But as I'm showing you, this is one of the postings amongst a lot of others. Usually you begin with the field posting, then after you go to the secretariat. Secretariat again is of two kinds. One, you serve in your own state. For example, in Jharkhand, I'll serve in Ranchi, where I'll be, let's say, Secretary Education of Jharkhand, who will look after the education of entire state. Similarly, Secretary Health, Secretary Mining, Secretary, a lot of things. Almost everything and has a secretary of itself. Similarly, there is a Secretary of the Government of India who looks after the education, let's say, of the entire country. Likewise, there can sometimes be international positions as well. So this is basically what the position and the posting of the IAS looks like. It is not just about the GM, it's about a host of other posts. Briefly speaking, the field postings make up about 10 years of posting. Remaining 20-25 years are of the secretariat postings. About 10-15 years in the Cadre and 10 years in the Government of India, that is in Delhi. So why IAS and what is so special about the IAS? So there are some things that people all know about. For example, we know that yes, it is it has a lot of power. You have a lot of power to do things, good or bad depends on you. But you have a lot of power related to a lot of activities. That power is also visible, as I'm showing in this photo that I've taken from the internet. You have, a host of people who work under you. For example, the DM of our district, he has roughly about 5,000 people working under him directly, and about 25,000 people working under him indirectly. He has power to make rules in a lot of spheres concerning the district, and as you can see, a lot of materialistic facilities like driver, bodyguard, etc., vehicles, etc., are also provided as well. Red beacon is being shown over here, but now that has been officially removed, and it is no longer a part of the governance. So what I wanted to show was that yes, people usually associate that yes, the service also has a lot of fame recently. It has attracted a lot of fame. I'm showing one of the accounts from the Instagram just to give you a picture that, if you want fame and not lost in the Bangalore crowds or anywhere else, then you have a chance to stand out. It provides you a good lifestyle as well, good materialistic facilities, vehicle, good accommodation, people to take care after you, good bungalows. We have a good training institute in Labasta. You might have heard about it. It is in Masuri and quite fun of a place. Just one of my photos from there. Does it mean everything is good? No. There are cons as well. There are issues related to, sometimes there are pulls of political pulls or pulls from the media, not necessarily meaning that it's about politicians disrupting your day-to-day work, but it's usually more about the priorities. It's more about what you want to do and what the politicians or what the public representatives may want. For example, somebody may say that, an IAS officer or whosoever he is, an officer might want, let's say, to invest more time in constructing a road, let's say. But, a public representative might say, no, this is not more important. What is more important is let's provide more water to this place. Let's provide more electricity to that place. So there are often, I would rather say, there are times when there can be clash of priorities. There can be a trap of popularity. For example, I showed you some image before that, a lot of Instagram followers and this and that. And but it is not all good when you have that kind of popularity. It has its own issues. Your life is not private anymore. Your life is public. So if you want complete privacy, then this job may not be for you. The salary of this job is not very high. I get, for example, in hand roughly about 80,000 rupees. However, I've given a star marks over there because restricts mark over there because the effective salary is not very low, considering all your materialistic necessities are taken care of. So a lot of that money basically goes into my savings. So overall, I would say that salary is pretty decent, not the millions that you would hope to make if you are joining in let's say a private company is one of its head, or let's say if you're joining a big business or starting a big business, but decent. However, despite this, I showed you some photos of, let's say, their popularity, power, materialistic benefits. In my opinion and in my understanding, the IAS does not stand out because of its power, materialistic desires, or whatever it may be. In my opinion, the reason why I vouch for the IAS, it's been only 3 years now, but the reason why I think IAS is one of the best services in the country, and I think it is one of the best places to be in, is more of because you start from top from day one. Now, this is a a graph that I've made for, let's say you're joining a private company. Let's say you're joining from, you have completed your work from Delhi School of Economics, and then you join one of the top business firms. You start from a position which is usually at the lower end. Then you rise and rise and rise. In the IAS, however, you start out from a very high position. It is possible that at the end your position, let's say you become the CEO of a big multinational company, and let's say in the IAS you become Secretary Education of the country, and let's say that the two positions are very comparable. In spite of that, why IAS would stand out is because you can see from day one, you're starting from a very high position. Where is the benefit? The benefit is the fact that being a boss from day one, being your own boss from day one gives you a number of benefits, such as independence to make your own priorities, your flexibility. Flexibility can be of time. You want to work from 7 a.m. in the morning, or you want to work from 5 p.m. in the evening. It's your choice. It's your decision. And you can frame your decisions. You can frame your office structure. You can frame your governance structure accordingly. And most importantly, you take your own decisions, not just for yourself, but you take decisions for the behalf of a huge population. Let's say, as an SDM, when I say ki, let's say there's something I find an irregularity in mining, and I find that no, this should not continue, then I'm taking decision not just on the behalf of my own subdivision, but it has ramifications beyond it, right? So your decision-making ability is very high from day one. Secondly, IAS provides, I think, huge network. I have friends all over the country. I have friends all over the world. And wherever I have been in need, whenever I've been in any genuine need, there have been people to help me from my own service, from different services, from friends, from other walks of life, because your daily interactions, the level of that is often increased. And finally, and I think where the IAS really stands out is there's a real happiness in sharing happiness. When you meet people who are very poor, when you meet people who are very depressed and who really don't have anyone to help them, they don't know where to go. People who, a normal police officer or a normal karmachari in Tehsil or Anchal will be, exploiting them. You are a beacon of hope. You can provide them better way to live. You can provide them justice. You can provide them avenues to grow more. You can provide better education. You can provide better, let's say, better housing facilities. These are some of the old photos that I've taken. This presentation is actually very old, but you can provide better housing facilities. You can help the children in the schools get better education, ensure that teachers are present, ensure that midday meal is served to the children, ensure that they get good quality food, ensure that they get privileges of associated with education, like let's say like bicycle or better infrastructure. And I think this is where the IAS stands out.